flew. The worn leather of the car seat seemed to fit her perfectly, her body mirroring the contours as though it were a second skin. Each mile marker was a tick-tock on the clock of their love story, another chapter unfolding on the open road. They had chosen a route that wove through history, towns that had witnessed generations come and go, each brick and cobblestone telling silent stories. Days stopped for coffee at places where time moved slower, where the walls were lined with photographs of days gone by, where the locals greeted them with smiles as warm as the mugs they held. But as the miles unfurled, Maria found herself yearning for more than just the caffeine and the comforting beverage. It wasn't just the car or the road or the towns that held such significance for her. It was what these things represented. Journeys, connections, experiences that were theirs alone. This drive, this journey, it was more than just a drive. It was a ritual, a celebration of their bond that transcended the physical. Every bend in the road was a surprise, every hill a new perspective. Each town was a world unto itself, whispering secrets from centuries past. She loved these surprises, the unexpected turns that life threw at them, because they navigated it together, side by side. Their car, affectionately nicknamed the Wanderer, rumbled on, its engine purring like a contented cat. It was more than just a vehicle for them. It was their chariot, carrying them from one adventure to the next. The interior, filled with mismatched treasures, told a silent story of their relationship, a map of their travels, a collection of trinkets from roadside stops, and most importantly, a playlist filled with songs that marked milestones in their love story. These songs, once blaring in their youthful car, now echoing in the quiet intimacy of their sanctuary, became a soundtrack to their memories. But the melody of the road wasn't just in the car, or the coffee, or the songs. It was in the very essence of their journey, the unpredictable turns, the unexpected detours, the unplanned stops. For Maria, the allure of the drive lay in the unknown that lay ahead. She thrived on the surprises, the unplanned adventures that seemed to find them. Whether it was a charming cafe tucked away on a side street, or a breathtaking vista that unfolded before them unexpectedly. As they continued their journey, the landscape outside morphed from rolling hills to towering mountains. Maria watched as Daniel interacted with people along the way, how he engaged with the locals, sharing jokes and stories. She observed how his face lit up when he sipped his coffee, how his eyes crinkled at the corners when he smiled, how his hands moved expressively as he spoke. Each interaction, each smile was a brushstroke on the canvas of their shared journey, creating a masterpiece of moments. For Maria, the drive wasn't just about reaching a destination, it was about savoring the ride itself. It was about basking in the beauty of the world around them, feeling the wind in her hair and the sun on her skin, listening to the wind whispering through the trees. She reveled in the freedom, the sense of limitless possibilities that came with the open road. There was something exhilarating about not knowing exactly what lay ahead, about surrendering to the whims of the journey. The drive became a metaphor for life. When the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, they found themselves at a quaint little diner. As they walked in, the scent of freshly brewed coffee and homemade pie enveloped them. It was one of those places where the counter stools were worn smooth by countless sitters, and where the waitresses knew everyone's order by heart. Inside, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the sweet scent of pies cooling on the windowsills. The bell above the door chimed merrily as they entered, announcing their presence to the handful of patrons scattered throughout the diner. The low hum of conversation and the clatter of dishes created a comforting background noise, a silent symphony of everyday life. Daniel, with his easy charm, struck up conversations with the locals at the counter. He talked about the weather, about the town, about anything that sparked a smile or a nod. Maria, a keen observer, watched him, his animated gestures, his infectious laughter. The way his eyes twinkled when someone told a good story. She saw not just her husband, but a man deeply connected to his community, respected, loved. When their food arrived, steaming and fragrant, they dug in, each bite a burst of flavor on their tongues. The simplicity of the meal, the taste of freshly cooked goodness, it brought back childhood memories for Maria. Sunday lunches with her family, the warmth of home-cooked meals. It was in these moments, surrounded by the everyday magic of a roadside diner, that she realized the depth of her love for Daniel. Eyes As the sun dipped below the horizon, they hit the road again. The sky was a canvas of deepening blues and fiery oranges, the clouds painted in hues of a day well lived. They drove in comfortable silence, the kind that didn't need words, that spoke volumes without sound. The car, filled with the scent of their shared journey, became their sanctuary. When they reached their destination late that night, it was more than just a place. It was a culmination of experiences, a tapestry woven with coffee, conversations and landscapes. The drive had been their dance, a waltz of sorts, where the road was their guide and their love was the rhythm that kept time. Later, as they unpacked, Maria found herself reminiscing about the day. She thought about the laughter that echoed in the diner, the friendliness of strangers, the warmth of the coffee. But most of all, she thought about Daniel, the way he engaged with the world, the way he made every interaction a memorable moment. They settled into their room, the day's adventures heavy in their bones in the best possible way. The bed, soft and inviting, beckoned to them after a long day. As they drifted off to sleep, their bodies tired but content, Maria felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the drive, for the journey, for the love that had deepened with every mile. When the morning light streamed through the curtains, chasing away the remnants of the night, they woke up feeling refreshed, rejuvenated. The drive had not just taken them places, it had taken them deeper into each other's hearts. The journey had become a reflection of their relationship, winding, unpredictable, yet leading them to beautiful destinations. As they embarked on their journey home, the miles flew by, filled with the same blend of adventure and intimacy. The road, once unfamiliar, now felt like an old friend, guiding them back to their starting point, which somehow felt different, more familiar, more cherished. When they finally reached their own driveway, the sight of their home held a new significance. It was where they had started, but they were no longer the same people who had set out on that adventure. They had stories to tell, memories to tuck away, laughter to reminisce about. The drive had been more than just a trip. It had been a chance to rediscover each other in the most ordinary of settings. The following days were filled with the echoes of their journey. The aroma of roadside diner coffee lingered in their thoughts. The taste of their simple meals danced on their tongues. The conversations they'd struck up with strangers became anecdotes they'd shared at dinner parties. The drive had woven its magic, leaving them with threads of adventure, friendship, and love. Maria often found herself thinking about the drive, not as a series of events, but as a state of being. A time when the world was their oyster and their love was the pearl they found within it. They had driven to faraway places, but they had also driven closer to each other. Had embarked on a journey and returned home, richer in experience, deeper in connection.